Alright, now my name's Kenley, and this tutorial is going to be on the swipe. Now, I'm going to teach off on how to do two-legged swipes, and forgive me if my two-legged swipes aren't that good. I usually just do master swipes. So now, two-legged swipes are a lot easier because one, you're landing on two of your legs, and because of that, you'll have a lot more balance into it, and it won't feel scary when you're just doing one-legged swipes or master swipes and just hopping off one leg. You're just gonna be hopping off both of your legs, just kind of in a table position or something like that. Now for two-legged swipes, all you're just gonna do is pretend that you're just gonna be in this position and keep your hips in a very high position. Try and keep your body as straight as possible. Don't keep it bent like this. Don't have your swipes like this. Keep your hips up like this. Try and keep a very straight line from your torso to your hips and to your knees. Just try and keep that straight line. And once you do that, you're just gonna do a little bit of a jump off from your legs. Just jump, and then once you do that, this is just for practicing two-legged swipes. You're just gonna be doing this. You're gonna jump and twisting your hips. So you're gonna jump and then twist your hips, and then when you're doing that, you're gonna be catching with your right arm. If you're right armed or going clockwise like me. You're gonna try and catch with your right arm as well, and when doing that, you're gonna put your right arm there, and because of this, when you're twisting over, you're gonna go in a circle, and you're gonna end up somewhere around here. So put all that together, and you're gonna just get a hop, twist, catch, and something like that. And then to go again, just switch onto your left arm, and then go, and then just do this again. And this is just a drill to get you understanding the concept of a two-legged swipe. So put all that together, and then try doing it continuous. You're gonna get something like this. And that's pretty much it for the two-legged swipe. I don't think it's very difficult. I believe this one is gonna be kind of the easiest thing to do for a swipe. And if you know how to do baby swipes or two-step or whatever, it's more power to you. But it's gonna be, I wouldn't say it's gonna be the best thing to do to know, because the way two-steps or baby swipes work is that your legs are kind of like this, and then you swipe like that. And because of that, you're just gonna be unfamiliar with the concept of having your hips up high like that. Cause the way baby swipes work, your hips are kind of low and your legs are kind of like this. So I wouldn't suggest you to learn baby swipes before this, because it'll make the learning process a lot more difficult. But you can learn it if you want. I'm not gonna say that you shouldn't. I'm just saying that it's gonna make it a little bit more difficult, because you'll understand the motion in all of it. You're just gonna have the positions all wrong. And with that, that's just the two-legged swipe. Now is going to be the master swipe, or the one-legged swipe. This one, I see a lot of people, and when I mean a lot, I mean a lot, and they think that this is a master swipe or a one-legged swipe. This is what they do. See what this means? That is not a one-legged swipe. It doesn't matter what it is. That's not a one-legged swipe at all. This is just a one-legged baby swipe or something like that. Because the way master swipes work, they have to look more explosive, they have to look more like more explosive, like you're just gonna be jumping off one leg. Like this is how my master swipes look. Notice how when I jump, it looked like I exploded up into the air. And that's a crucial part of like your master swipe. You want it to look like you just explode up. You don't want it to look like some slow baby master swipe thing like this. So a tip that I would like to suggest for you is that keep your legs perpendicular like this. Keep like the tapping leg perpendicular. Like just keep it like this. Don't bend it. Don't bring it out too far. Don't bring it in too much. If you bring it in too much, you're gonna start bending down, and your hips are gonna go, and as a result, your hips are gonna go down. But if you bring it out too far, your hips are gonna go down, and because like you really can't land a swipe like this and keep your hips high. So try and be in the median and just like keep your leg perpendicular. Try and make a 90-degree, like kind of like this. Try and keep like a 90-degree. Try and just keep it like this. Don't leave it like this, or don't leave it like this. And as you saw from those motions, you notice that my hips went down. That's the result of doing that. So just keep it at that 90-degree, and I can't stress this enough. Just keep it at the 90-degree. I've seen so many people make the mistake of doing a master swipe and thinking that they did one, but their legs were bending in, which kept it a lot lower. The thing about master swipes is your hips have to be like way up. They have to be like on the same height as where your knee is at. That's the key thing about master swipes. You have to keep your hips at the same height of where your knee is at. So then, with the master swipe, it's kind of like a head swipe as well. You're using like that tapping leg to push you off, and you're using that non-tapping leg to swing you up. That's pretty much the basics of a master swipe. So, a drill that I did to like get the feeling of a master swipe was the same thing as I did for the two-legged swipe, except the one thing I did differently is that I didn't use two legs. I used just one leg, and I had the other leg like out like this. And what I did here is I tried to do the same thing as well, but instead I used the non-tapping leg to swing up. So put all the motions together of like pushing, like jumping off from one of your legs and then swinging up. And when you're jumping off your one leg, you're gonna put a lot more oomph into that jump, because the thing that's different is that since you're not using like your other leg to jump off for you, you're solely relying on this one to jump. You're gonna have to put a lot more oomph into that jumping off from one leg. So, and because the swing isn't really gonna help you get that much more height, I would think. I think, but yeah, it can give you a lot of height depending on how like where your non-tapping leg is. But I'm gonna get into that later. So put all that motion together of jumping off and then swinging, and then you're just gonna get this. And that's kind of like the basics of a master swipe, except the thing is, when in the master swipe, your hand's not on the ground like this at all. You're kind of be like slanted like this, like that. I can't really like balance onto that, but you kind of get the picture of like, I'm just gonna be on one leg for like a split second or a very short moment. And when I'm just on that leg, that's the moment that I jump off. As well, I forgot to mention for two-legged swipes, you're not supposed to have like your hands on the ground like when your legs are on the ground. You only have your hands on the ground when your legs are up in the air. So think of it as like a 1-2 motion. So like hands on ground, legs in the air, and then legs on the ground, then hands in the air or something like that. Just think of it like one has to be on the ground and then the other has to be on the air. So they can't both be on the ground at the same time or both in the air at the same time. Unless you're trying to do an air flare or something like that. But anyway, so when you're swinging as well with like your non-tapping leg, you want to try and keep it at like the same level of height as where your knees at. So try and keep it like this height as well. Don't keep it up like this high, because I made this mistake before of like keeping it that high. I mean, it was like possible for doing it, but it made like transitioning into moves a lot more difficult because I didn't have like a lot more room to like swing up. If you keep it like the level of where your knees at, you'll have a lot more space to swing up, and with more space to swing up, you'll be able to transition into more moves like a 90 or a windmill or 2000s or something like that. And as well, a good tip that I would like to mention is don't forget to use your hips to like push you up. Think of it like when you're down on the ground think of it when your foot's on the ground and your legs in the air. You want to like synchronize all those motions of like swinging up, pushing down, jumping up from that one leg, and as well, when you're doing that, try and pelvic thrust the air. Try and like bring it like puff out your chest or something like that. Try and bring your hips out as well when you're doing that. And with doing that, you'll get more height in your swipes, and it'll make transitions a lot easier. So, putting all that together, you're gonna get something like something explosive like this. Just try, and it's okay if you do something like if you do this. It's okay. You're gonna be starting out. It's a really scary move. I'll admit. I had some trouble doing this move when I first tried to do it, cause when I tried to like jump over, I was too scared to actually do it. So I would just like I would just catch myself like this, and then wouldn't actually jump. But over time, you'll get over the fear, and you'll be able to do it. This move's kind of like a fear factor for me, cause I was just scared of like jumping off of just one foot and then trying to land on my hands. So, also I would like to mention is swinging your legs is very crucial. I can't stress this one enough as well. Swinging your legs is really crucial to this move, because if you just rely on like I did master swipes before, and when I did them, I just relied on like jumping off, and I was able to do that. But when I started to think about moves of like going up or like transitioning into other moves, like trying to go up to a windmill or trying to go up into like a 90, I could never do it because I wasn't swinging my legs. I wasn't swinging my leg, and that was because my swipe was a little bit too low. It was high enough for me to like finish a master swipe, but it wasn't high enough for me to like transition into other moves. Like this is how it looks like if I don't swing my legs. I'm able to finish it, but I'm not able to like go into other moves. This is like with a master swipe with the swinging of my legs, and like with my hips. Notice how I was a lot higher in that. And with that, you'll be able to transition into moves such as 90s. And that's pretty much it for the move. I will also, another thing that I forgot to mention as well is that be careful with landing. I once sprained, no, not really sprained, but I once like hurt my wrist a lot because I landed all wrong, and because of that, I wasn't able to do any swipes, jackhammers, or like any type of stab freeze at all, or anything that put a lot of strain on my wrist. Like even handstands, I couldn't do that because I landed on it wrong. and I couldn't do them for like several weeks because of that injury. I just want to say this: when you're landing as well, try and keep it at a 1-2 motion. So like left hand goes down and then right hand, and then you just go onto your right leg. So don't just go jumping into it and then just go like a Bronco. So like, don't try and just jump into it like that with both hands on the ground. You want to like keep it at a 1-2 motion of like left hand then right hand. If you're going clockwise, if you're going counterclockwise, or if you're left-handed, then you just go right hand then left hand. And now I'm going to show you like continuous master swipes. So I'm probably going to show you like 3 or 4, I don't know. And that's pretty much it for the swipe. There's going to be a later tutorial on like transitions out of swipes. And if you have any questions, send me a comment or a message, or send me a video response to this video tutorial, and I'll get to it and see what I can help you with. Thank you and goodbye.